Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another monthly recap video. It's going to be a short recap of June and an insight into my July goals. So last monthly goals video was posted like 2 weeks ago, so there isn't that much of a recap to give for June, but I did end up setting myself a couple of goals, so I'm going to go over how well I did on those goals. I'm finally settling down more in my new flat, and I think that I'm going to have the time to do more studying. I was still taking a bit of a break during June and I wasn't working as hard as I could have been, but now that we're getting into the middle of the year and the middle of the summer, I do want to step up my language goals. So my first June goal was to finish the book numéro 2, which I did. That was pretty easy. I was almost done with it by the time that video came out. I think I was done when the video came out actually. But anyway, it's finished and I'm moving on to the next book, which I'm reading right now, which is called Un avion sans ailes, which I'm going to be reading throughout July. My next goal was to journal daily, which I've been doing the whole year. It's very easy to continue and yeah, I've been really enjoying it. There have been some times where I felt like I was going to miss a day, or I accidentally did miss a day and I ended up writing it the next morning, but overall I've been able to keep up a good rhythm with the daily journal entries. It really helps that it's so short and it's just literally a paragraph. Then my next goal is to use my textbooks, which I've started to do a bit more. I've gone through my textbooks and looked at all the chapters that I've done, or partially done, or not done at all. I've sort of categorised them. You can see in my video about my goals for quarter 3 that I actually put numbers on how many chapters I need to do, and I have started to go through with them a bit more. I also had the goal to watch 2 documentaries and do 2 summaries, and I watched the 2 documentaries but I didn't manage to do the 2 summaries simply because I couldn't be bothered. It's completely on me. For Japanese, I had the goal to try and read a little bit more. I didn't. I honestly don't want to put any more stress on myself to read, because I already read so much in French and again in English that I can't really add another third language, especially one that is considerably harder to read than the other 2. I also had the goal to journal once, which I managed to do. I just wrote a quick summary of my month, and I had the goal to translate and transcribe 4 songs, and I managed to do 2 for each. And this is because I went over my quarterly goals and I realised that I didn't actually need to do 4 songs. I only needed to do 2 to complete my goals for the quarter, so I just did those 2 for each and I called it a day or month. So for July, again, I'm going to have quite a bit of free time, and now I'm going to be more settled, so I want to get quite a bit done. And now that I really want to start stepping things up, because I realise that I'm not quite where I want to be if I want to take the DELF B2 exam at the end of the year. Like, I think I could just about scrape by, but I don't really want to just scrape by, because I also want to go beyond that and do the C1 exam at some point in the future as well. So I do actually want to get to a good level. I'm not just doing this for the exam. And to do that, I want to get a bit more serious about my studies. And my first goal is to finish Un avion sans toit, which is the next book that I'm reading. It's fairly short. I think I could definitely get it done. I'll only need to read about 20 pages a day to get it done, and that's quite easy. I need to read the whole book in 1 month if I want to complete my quarterly goal of reading 3 books in this quarter, and I definitely think it's doable if I put in the effort. I also want to journal daily, which is just a continuation of what I've been doing the whole year. I want to do 6 chapters in my grammar textbook. So I went through my grammar textbook and I realised that I had around 60 chapters that I hadn't done. So I split that into 3 for the 3 months in the quarter, and I ended up with 20 chapters to do this month. It sounds like a lot, but I'm not trying to finish all of the chapters. I'm just trying to do some of the exercises in the 20 chapters. And each chapter is only about a page long usually. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 pages, but it's usually around a page. And the exercises are quite short, so it won't actually take that long. Like, I could do around 3 chapters in about half an hour if I really wanted to. So it's not that much of a challenge. though I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with it, because that's definitely a lot more than I've been doing before. And again, for my vocabulary textbook, I split it up and I realised I had 18 chapters left in the quarter, so that's 6 every month, so I'm just going to do 6 every quarter. That's a lot easier than my grammar textbook, so I'm going to get that done. And one thing I also want to do is to put the vocabulary that I don't know into Memrise and start reviewing it there, because I realise that sometimes there'll be a lot of new vocabulary. Sometimes the chapters are very easy and I know most of the vocabulary, but sometimes they're not. And I don't go through the chapters enough. Like, once I'm done with the chapter, I don't go back over it enough to really internalise all the words that I didn't know the first time. So having them in a Memrise deck, just for me, just the words I don't know, would be a lot better for me and help me actually remember them. I also want to use my writing textbook, the one that's supposed to help me in the writing section of the B2 exam, and that's again just to improve my writing skills, which I really need to do. Definitely something that needs to improve, and I'm going to be working on that a lot this quarter, but I don't have any goals on how many chapters or anything that I want to do, because the textbook isn't really organised like that. It doesn't have like set activities. It just has like random ones scattered around all the information that you need to know. And I did set the goal to do all the exercises in those textbooks, but I don't want to set a goal in a number of exercises to do in a month, because I don't actually know how much time each of the exercises are going to take me, like I do with the other ones. My next goal is to finish the reading section, the reading comprehension section in the Delft B2 textbook that I have. So this is going to be a step towards me finishing all the preparation sections in that textbook, which is my goal for the quarter. And the reading section is the easiest section for me to do. I definitely think I can get it done quickly. So that's going to be where I go first, just to get myself warmed up to using the textbook again. Now, I also have this sort of tentative goal of taking an italki lesson, because this has been on my list for a very, very long time, but I've never really had the courage to really take the jump to do so. But I finally realised that I need to get some speaking practice, because I haven't spoken to anybody in French in a long, long time, and I can't really be bothered to go through the effort to try and meet someone on a language exchange platform, because that just involves a lot of sifting through people who are not interested or not compatible, and it's just easier to pay for someone who's going to listen to you and help you. So I want to do that, but I've been putting it off for a while, but I figured now that I have the time, I may as well take a lesson and see where it takes me. So that's like a goal that I have for this month. It might not happen, but we'll see. For Japanese, I have the goal of journaling once, which is just going to keep up my monthly journal, and translating one song and transcribing one song as well. I did mention in my quarterly goals video that Japanese was going to take a lot more of a back seat in my language learning, because I want to focus a lot on French and I'm falling a little bit behind on French, so I want to put Japanese on the back burner even more than it was before, so that I can focus on French. And that's basically reflected in my goals. Like, of course I can do more if I feel like doing more, but I just want to set some very low base goals so that I don't feel stressed to get a lot done in a language that's not really that important to me right now. So that's going to be it. Those are my goals for July and a recap of June. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.